Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Two Dimes and a Token. I am your host, Brucknasty, and we have an awesome episode for you today. We have a young lady that flew all the way to Florida from Syracuse, New York, dude. Her name is Amanda Marie. She is a musician. She's a music artist. She's a lyricist. She's been doing live shows and performances up in the New York area, and she's been traveling as well for quite a while. She's got a decent following on social media, and she's got some pretty good music, man. So we reached out to her a little bit ago, and we asked her to come on, and she took the steps in the initiative, and she decided to fly all the way here to Florida. And it was an awesome podcast, bro. You guys are in for a real treat. She was super dope. She gave a really, really honest story. We talked about a few specific things that were kind of near and dear to all of us here in the podcast. But she talked about what it was like, because she also posts up social media content. She does fitness content, but as we all know, ladies doing fitness content in the social media world brings a lot of attention. So we kind of got onto that subject as well. But it's just a great podcast. She had an awesome story. She was super fucking cool, super down to earth. And I can't say enough about her coming all the way here just to jump on the pod with us. And before we get into it, though, we got to let you know that this awesome podcast is brought to you by Death Grip Wax. Death Grip Wax is the leading edge facial hair company of the future. They provide the most amazing mustache waxes that you can purchase on the market today. They have amazing beard oils. They have amazing utensils. And as I've said a million times, and I'm still always impressed, they give you an awesome, awesome little professional regal bag that you get to store everything in that you can actually use for daily carry. But it is an absolutely amazing product. So if you're looking to take your face from the 6 to a 10, attract all the ladies, attract all the dudes, whatever it is that you're trying to do, bro, Death Grip Wax is going to make your facial hair to the moon. So if you're looking for it, you can go to deathgripwax.com, or you can go to the links below, and you can use the promo code, all caps, 2 dimes and a token, to get 20% off your entire purchase. That's right, 20% off your entire purchase, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's an amazing treat. Think about it. We got a bunch of different things coming up. We got Father's Day coming up. We got just any other day where you can give your person who decides to grow some facial hair the greatest gift of all time. So, without further ado, we do want to issue guys a thank you. Thank you guys so much for following. Thank you guys so much for all the love, all the subscriptions, all the everything that we can think of. We are going to continue to ask. Please go and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit up and follow all the social media platforms. We're posting content daily. We always got some fun new topics that we're talking about. Me and Kanyeezy are always arguing, going back and forth about some bullshit, and I'm usually right. But I digress. So without further ado, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Please enjoy this amazing episode featuring the awesome Amanda Marie.
Two dimes and a token.
Dear Meg Wolfsey.
It's another job. I mean, this right here, but this is where you want to. I always tell him.
He's talking about 2 dimes and a token specifically.
Yeah,
this is where you want to be.
This is exactly where you want to be. But the difference is just you're doing what you want to do, so you're already successful.
Slide. There you go.
It's hard to put
Push
a
it
dick
to the
my
side.
face.
Push to the side, and then slide the chair up. There you go. I know, man. But you got to talk into the mic.
One of those things you can't get used to as a guy.
I mean, I'm comfortable here.
That's it.
But
Yes. So what do we got, man? What is our official drink of the pod, my friend? This is on you.
we got screwdrivers, man. We are drinking screwdrivers, vodka and orange juice.
Yes, I dig it. Let's get it. I'm gonna cheers you real quick. Thank you so much for coming down
Let's get it.
all the way from Syracuse, New York.
Woo.
Woo! Hell yeah. So backstory to this.
That's kind of smooth.
It's very smooth. Like I said, as long
Even-
as you don't
even with
put
the
too
public.
much vodka in there, it's you go all day. Well, you won't go all day, but you'll drink and you think you go all day.
You pass out at some point, but you know,
Yes, exactly.
it'll be
So-
enjoyable.
That's accurate. So, we slid into your DMs, I think, like 2 or 3 months ago,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And you had some cool ass music that was coming across the internet. You had a bunch of cool posts, and you have like have this like multi-versated type thing where you're an artist, you're doing lyrics, you're also do you do your own beats and music and stuff like that?
So I don't make my own beats, but I'm very picky about the beats that I choose.
Got it.
Like I'll look for hours trying to find the perfect beat.
Okay.
For sure.
Nice. I dig that. But then you also have like you put up a lot of like fitness content too. You do a lot of working out, all that stuff.
Yep.
So like how did this get started? Like where did you start? Give us the come up story. What's all that for us?
So, funny story, my first like real dream was to be like a singer of a band. So I would do like covers on YouTube and stuff like that. When I was like between the ages of like 13 and like 16, I would just do like these really dumb covers, honestly. So I would just put the song in the background. I had no real setup. I was just in my bedroom. And I never got any love on them. So I was like, screw this. Like I suck anyway. I don't even sound good. I'm not even gonna do music. So then I just became like a content creator. And like this is back when like Vine was around. So I would just make a ton of like, really stupid Vines because I was a kid. Finally like Vine turned into Musically and I was like a little bit older, so I started like getting more into like making videos and like posting on a regular basis and stuff like that. Like kind of starting to gain my following. Then it turned to TikTok. My TikTok was blown up originally. Like I had 165K on there. I woke up one day, it was gone. It was just gone. They wouldn't let me appeal. They wouldn't let me nothing. So I started completely over. And almost 2 years ago, somebody had hit me up and they were like, hey, like, I see your social media presence. Why don't you do music? And I was like, it's funny you bring that up because like I've always wanted to do music, but I never had the confidence. And like I would always write here and there, don't get me wrong. Like I would think of some bars and I'd be like, I gotta write that down for one day when I do music. But I never actually like took it upon myself to find an engineer and like find the people to work with to help me get started with music. And then somebody had reached out to me and I was like, this is it, I'll write a verse, I'll go to the studio, and that's kind of like where I officially started with doing music.
That's dope as shit, bro. I wish I was good enough at something. Somebody reached out to me and was like, hey Mike, you should do this. I mean, it wasn't like that for me.
The mere fact that you took time away, like, I don't know if I should do this, and then someone was like, hey, that little spark that you had before, do it all over again. See if you can make magic out of it. So what motivates you to just keep going? I'm pretty sure that person's not in your ear anymore. Like, hey, keep doing this. So what makes you want to keep doing music?
It feels right. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of like bad parts to doing music. Like there's a lot of like disappointments when you do stuff like this. You know what I mean? You're gonna have people that flake on you that you would be like, they would never flake on me. They'd always have my back. But then, you know what I mean? So it's just like the love of music itself and the fact that like ever since I was young, I've wanted to do that. Like I used to perform in my bedroom. You know what I mean? Like I'd put on like my favorite playlist and I would just like grab a like little microphone and just like perform in my bedroom. So like it just goes back to like the child in me, you know what I mean? Like I'm living like my child dream almost. If you know what I mean, if that makes sense.
That's dope.
So it's
That's dope as fuck.
It feels right. It just feels like the
right
thing to
I'm
do.
a little fired up fucking hearing that cuz like we had dreams going to the NFL, right? We'll never make it. You probably will. But like that's true. Like I remember getting up and I had a picture of Mike Vick. I had a poster of Mike Vick on my wall. I get up, mind you, I'm way, way too fucking big to be like him. But I was like, man, I'm gonna be like Mike Vick one day. Be running around, throwing the ball, be fucking superstar. Like that's vibes, bro. That's good time, bro.
He had dreams in the NFL. I wanted to be like Chris Brown and Usher. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like that was the lifestyle that you want. I feel like artists want to be.
You remember before the podcast talking about you walk outside, sometimes the gay hit you.
Yeah.
In Miami.
Let me see a 1-2 step real quick.
I got that. I don't know about the 1-2 step, but nevertheless, I wanted to be an artist. I feel like most athletes want to be an artist. Most artists want to be athletes. It like coincides together. So being an athlete just let me know that I wanted to be on stage. And then when it came to actually going up there and doing it, what do you do when you have stage fright? Me, I can't get past it. I know I got a show.
I'm gonna bold out her. I don't think she does, man. If you see her on your clips, like you're fucking going ham, bro.
She definitely gets it though.
You know what's funny is like I actually do have like a little mini anxiety attack right before I go on stage every time.
Really?
And like it's getting easier, it's getting better. So like I used to have anxiety for the entire day. Like I couldn't even eat before a show. Like I would wake up at like 9 a.m. and I wouldn't be able to eat for the day because the whole day I'm like, dang, I gotta go perform in front of people. I don't know how I'm gonna do. I'm not used to this because my first ever performance was only in March. Like I haven't been like officially performing for a very long time, but like I'm just getting more comfortable with it like very quickly. But I still like I get really, really bad anxiety, and like anybody that's with me at a show can vouch. Like I'll be there and like I'll be waiting for my spot and I'm like, all right, there's 2 people ahead of me. I'm gonna be there. Like I gotta make sure, I know my set, I know the lyrics, like everything that I had like practiced, I gotta, actually put to the test now.
Yeah.
So like I'll be there and I'm like, I'm so anxious. I don't know if I could do this. And they're like, you're gonna go up there and nobody's even gonna know that you feel this way every time. And I'm like, I know, but that's not the point because I'm dying right now. My hands are clammy. I'm like, I just don't know. Like, what if I go up there and I just like choke? And then like all of the anxiety that I have that just builds and builds and builds. The second I get the microphone in my hand, it turns to adrenaline.
What was the first time that you went up? Walk us through that experience, because like you said, you have a little bit more confidence. What was the first time like?
It was so bad. The people were great. So, my first ever showcase, an artist had reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, I'm doing this show. I see you do music and like I like your music. I think you should be a part of this." And I wasn't ready to perform in my head. I was like, I'm not ready to do this. I don't know if I'm ever going to be ready to do this. Because, like, before this, the only people who heard me sing was the people on YouTube when I was 14. Like, I never sang in front of anybody, rapped in front of anybody. Like, I was never, like, confident enough to do anything in person with anybody when it came to music. So now I finally have to, like, put myself out there for the first time in front of all these people that I don't know. And I was so new to the music scene. And I didn't have, like, a lot of people around me at the time. So I showed up to the showcase by myself. I didn't know anybody. Like, I only knew the guy that hit me up this one time, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to be a part of this show because you do music?" And I just was like, now's the time, man. Like, I have people hitting me up to do these shows, so, like, I feel like it's the right time to finally get my confidence up and perform the music that I'm making. So I go to the show, and I'm super anxious because I'm just completely by myself. I've never been here before. They got snacks, they got food, but of course I can't eat. And I get there like half an hour early. I check in with the DJ because that's what you're supposed to do. So he's got my music in order, and I'm just sitting there by myself for like an hour or two, and I'm just like sipping on water, and I'm freaking out, man, because I'm like, I've never done this before, and it was only 2 songs. It was literally only 2 songs. So I go on stage, and I thought that when you're on stage, you're not allowed to drink water because it looks unprofessional. That was in my head.
Yeah.
So I go up there, and my cotton mouth is crazy. I haven't eaten anything all day. I smoked a little bit, and I'm like super anxious. So like the whole time I'm up there, I can't breathe because I was super out of shape at the time. That's also why I started the gym. So I couldn't breathe. I was super thirsty. So like it wasn't the worst performance ever, but it's definitely not me now. You know what I mean? Like the way I perform now is totally different than that. I was barely utilizing the stage. I wasn't really moving around a lot. I was kind of just like standing there singing in the mic. And I couldn't see the crowd very well because of the lighting. So like I could see there's people in the crowd, but I can't see faces. So in my head, I'm like, they don't like me. I'm like, they're not liking my music. They don't, you know what I mean? So it was just like in my head the whole time. It was so bad, but like I learned so much from that at the same time too, because I learned like I can drink water in between songs. You know what I mean? Like I can. I also thought too that like I had to sing every single word of my songs instead of like take a minute to breathe. You know what I mean? Like you're allowed to like have breathing parts in your music where you stop singing for a second and breathe. And I didn't know that either. So I'm over here trying to rap all these songs that like I've never fully rapped, you know what I mean? Like I've recorded it over and over again, but I've never gone through the full song other than rehearsing. So like it was, oh man, it was scary.
No.
Scary.
You know what too? I was thinking about that. Like the first performance for anybody usually, oh shit. We've talked about it a couple times. Ours is not in front of people. We just put it on the internet and we see the comments after. I have 2 points on this. This is our first episode. I always talk shit. Our first episode to me was fucking shit.
I love it.
Like
He
loved it because it started out as we wanted to tell people why our name was 2 Dimes and a Token. Like the idea was everybody thinks he's the token black guy, right? But Chris is actually the token because he was an addict for 15 years. He's been sober for 4, and every year of sobriety, he gets a token of sobriety. So, yeah. So, and every time we tell someone that, they're like, damn, that's fire, bro.
I
like,
actually thought that too. I'm not going to lie. Like,
yeah.
That's literally what I thought.
That's the whole, but that was the point, is to like
up.
split the internet.
Because I got white people with me.
That's the point. Like, yeah, it's 2 dimes and a token. So
okay,
that was the idea. So the first episode is we did a 2-parter and we introduced Chris. And then at the very end, that's where you hear, if you watch the whole thing, so you hear like, hey, that's why we are 2 dimes. And then Chris is the token. But the episode was so unorganized. It was just three dudes bullshitting, like thinking they're telling a story, and to me it was horseshit. He loves it because it's the start of our journey, and he looks big picture.
Right.
I'm a fucking I'm OCD to the max. Like there's dishes in my sink right now that have been driving me nuts since you guys got here. But I didn't have time to do it because I got up a little bit and I started having to do some stuff with the memory cards and all this. So right now, it's bothering me. You know what I'm saying? So like every little detail that isn't really great or doesn't have a higher quality irritates me to shit. And that's why I think our episode stuck. The second point I was going to make is it's funny because anybody after your first performance, I feel like could have talked shit to you or you or me or anybody, and we'd have been like, fuck that dude. But when you tell yourself that they hate you, it's like it fucking destroys.
Yeah, it's a whole different feeling.
Yeah, you're on a mental roller coaster. Me, I like it because I told him before, it's a 4-year journey. After 4 years, let's see exactly where we are. Be that as it may, whether we blow up or if it's something that we just do, enjoy what you're doing. You only live for a moment. You got to make the best out of those moments. And on top of that, I said this off camera. Like my son's like, Dad, I want to be just like you. You wake up, you want to show it your best friend, and you're just talking to the world. The whole world sees you, but it's really just you and him talking the entire time.
Yep.
That's exactly where you want to be at. No matter how high you are, no matter how low you are in life, if you're around the people that you want to be around, you're doing exactly what you need to do.
He's also thinking that those sleepovers that we do every other weekend with the kids and all that, he's like, I want to do that till I'm 80.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking like the moment they get in high school is they're too cool to do sleepovers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I disagree, bro.
What?
Right now.
Sleepover, man.
First argument of the day, bro.
Yeah.
No, I disagree, man. Hey, no pause. I was having sleepovers till I was like 17, brother. You know what I'm saying? Actually, almost 18. Because I graduated when I was 18.
It's a little gay.
But
unless they're in the same, as long as they're not in the same bed.
that's
and
what
they
I'm
got
saying.
their socks on,
Hey, I slept on the floor, right? They slept in their bed. I slept on the floor, slept on the couch, right? And then when you go to college, it's literally just a full-time sleepover.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Same with roommates. If you got roommates, it's a sleepover every day.
We were roommates, so
yeah.
Okay,
it was a sleepover all the time. It wasn't bad in college because you were getting to know people. That came from different walks, different lifestyles. You're like, okay, why do you do what you do? Why do you act the way you act? Like dealing with Yuri. He's from Ukraine. So
Yuri was a fucking specimen. He was 6'4", 6'5". He's like 7% body fat.
Yeah.
Dude was jacked.
And he cooked everything in the same pot.
Yeah, he cooked everything in the same pot. Like he would make beef roast and then make cereal.
Yes.
In the same pot.
Same pot.
That's insane.
He never cleaned it. Never cleaned it. So you're getting a chance to know people like. Okay,
you remember Zach said, you'd be like, hey, why didn't you clean it? I told you, it's the flavors.
It's the flavors. It's the flavors. I'm like, that's got to be something from Ukraine. But you get a chance to see what people grew up like, and what's that like? Okay, you eat that all day long?
Yeah.
Yeah, you must hate yourself. And everything is mixed with the same thing. So I enjoy that part of a sleepover. But what the kids are doing, playing video games,
that's something that'll be. And by the way, if you need to push that to the side, you're more than welcome. That thing moves. Yeah. I know.
I'm not moving this thing.
I know it's big. You know what I'm saying?
It's already in my face.
But seriously, like, moving in towards the next one, right? So now you've done your first one. In your mind, you're like, bro, this is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. Almost like I'm hating myself. Like everybody hated me. There's a lot of negativity. What did you do step by step to get into your second one to build up the confidence to go back? Because some people are like, bro, I'm done. Like, what did you do to go back?
So it was really just like evaluating how the performance went and what I could have done better or what I could have done different. Like the drinking water is a perfect example, you know what I mean? So like that right there is just like something that's going to help me. So I'm not like, trying to sing when my mouth is super dry. Like that's, I don't know if you guys have tried to sing when your mouth is really, really dry, but it's not that easy. So, you know what I mean?
I sing when I'm drunk. So yeah.
I sing all the time. So I'm good.
Right. So just like little things like that. Like I really just like evaluated, and just doing it gave me the confidence to keep wanting to do it and wanting to be better. Because at this point I have something to prove to myself. Like, I have to make sure that, like, now I actually can do this, because I feel like I can. I just have to learn how to get better. So, like, not only did I just evaluate myself, and I watched everybody else very intently on that stage, too. Like, I watched everybody else's performance. I was there till, like, midnight, and I had to work the next day. So, like, I was like, all right, let's see how everybody does their stuff, you know what I mean? And I just kind of, like, learned off of, like, everything that was going on. And then I also went home and started watching, like, performance videos. Like, you know, you can look up anything on YouTube. You can learn anything on YouTube. So I was looking up how to perform better. What do you do to perform better? You know what I mean? Just like little things like that. And I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. So then I started to rehearse even more. So, like, say if I have a show in 2 weeks, I'll rehearse every single day until that show. I don't care what I have going on. If I have the work, then the gym, then I got to go home and make dinner. I also need to find time to rehearse. So I feel like that's like a big thing. It's like making sure I know the set, making sure I'm comfortable with the set. I have like these little like dance moves, nothing too crazy. I can't really dance, but like I have little dance moves in my set, you know what I mean? That just make me feel more comfortable that like I'm moving, I'm
You got
utilizing
the hype
my
I
jump.
seen the
stage.
hype jump.
The hype jump. Yo,
got a leg up like
I was
this.
watching the video. I was like, yeah.
It's all about energy. That's all. How do
Yeah.
you transfer your energy out to the audience?
So you also have a full-time job that you work.
I do.
Yes.
Yep.
So what is it that you do?
So
If you're okay with sharing.
yeah. So I do like dispatch and accounts payable for a scrap metal company.
Nice.
So I work in the office all day. I'm basically like the point of contact for the office, and like, you know, people call in and stuff like that. So
See, and this we talked about this on the Up to Me podcast. It's different. People always talk about things they want to get passionate about. When you get home from the full-time job and you're trying to do what you're trying to do, like if you find it to be a burden to go be a student of the game, you were a student of the game. You're like looking up, how can I get better? You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I've done with podcasting a lot is I watch podcasts I don't even like, but it gives me an understanding of people's styles and understanding how to communicate and understanding of how I can bounce questions. Because sometimes you don't have a ton of time to do a research on a subject, right? But I need to ask you something. We need to have something to communicate about, you know? So it gives you the in the moment ideals of where you can like really start. Okay, now I can base this question. Then I can build and build and build. Next thing you know, we're 65 minutes in and I've asked a ton of great questions just by watching. You know what I mean? So like if people always say they want to do something, you went home and became a student of the game. I'm giving you some flowers right now, to be honest, because not a lot of people do this. Some people get home and they look at the thing they say they want to do, and it's like a burden. Like, bro, I'd rather just play video games, or I'd rather do this. And it's like, bro, reevaluate. Maybe that's not something that you want to do. You know what I mean? So huge flowers to that, because not a lot of people do that. Once they get done with the 9 to 5, I'm out, bro. No, I'm done. I'm done for the day. I'm going to relax. You know?
and it is tough. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's honestly one of the hardest things ever sometimes to stay motivated, because there will be times. So like I go into work at 7:30 in the morning. I leave work around 4. I go to the gym immediately after that, Tuesday through Thursday, which is basically the entire week that I work. So and I'm in the gym for like an hour, so I don't get home till like 6, and I still gotta make dinner. And since I go to the gym, I'm not trying to eat like shit all the time. So sometimes I'll make like a nice steak dinner or something. So by the time I'm done eating dinner now, 7:38, I'm getting tired. I'm ready to lay down. But I got a 20-minute set to rehearse, because I feel like if I forget a day to rehearse, it could fuck up my whole set. Because like I feel like every single day my performance is getting better and better the more that I rehearse it. So it's tough, man. It is tough. And like I occasionally I'll slack and be like, oh, I got 2 weeks. I won't rehearse today. I'll just rehearse tomorrow. But like for the most part, like I do try to like, you know, I'm like my own worst critic.
Oh, we all are.
I'm my biggest fan. Hey,
You're
As
doing
you
great.
should be.
Doing
As
fucking
you should
great.
be.
Hey,
Phenomenal.
he's such a douchebag, isn't he?
Just letting you know.
Like, you see
I'm
that?
not negative to you at all.
He
Yo,
goes
you
home
doing
and he's like, I didn't do anything wrong today. I'm perfect.
fucking great.
Nah, bro. Here's Keon. Listen, I love this man.
I quarterback
Yes,
Monday.
like this
on
man. There is nobody on the planet that I've met that's just been so like free loving. And when I say that, free loving is all about himself. There's no
great.
point in time. Like he could have literally caused like the assassination of a president. Someone could ask him, "Hey, you know where Biden is?" He'd be like, "Oh yeah, he's here," right? And it could have been a whole group of assassins, right? Next thing you know, Biden dies. He'd be like, "Damn, I talked to them." But hey, I was great today.
I was great.
You know what I'm saying? Like anything in the world, like it doesn't matter what happens. He he could be the cause of the next plague, He'd be like, but you know what? I took a shower and I got dressed today, baby. I'm on par.
You won't believe this. I look for the little things in each and every day, and I say this: given the same information you have now, would you have made the same decision? If I would, then I let go, relinquish any stress that would happen from it. If you made a bad decision, you're like, man, I shouldn't have did that. Given the knowledge that you had, you made the right decision.
Yeah.
So I can live with any decision that I make.
I know. Don't reason with it because it sounds logical, and
I'm just letting you know.
I don't want people to be on your side in this argument.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you can take the other side, the negative Nancy.
Yeah. There
Say,
you go.
oh man,
So
I didn't do enough.
yes. So now tell me a little bit about some of the hits that you have coming out. So obviously you just released one
On Valentine's
which
Day.
I know this because we interviewed Travis in IPO, right?
EP.
No, is
What?
it an EPO or IPO? EPO?
EP.
EP.
I don't know why you keep adding the O to this. Like it's an EP.
I don't know. I don't
You
know.
had an EP that dropped on
No,
Valentine's
we got to
Day.
see Travis. All right, so Travis is a good buddy of ours, and he's been doing music for a long time. And he has a John Mayer vibe, like a real, like it's, if you want to get in your feelings, like let me send you his stuff.
I do love In My Feelings music.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah,
he's gonna make you cry a little bit.
Yeah, he will. He will. He's great. He's a great artist too, and he's got a great voice. But he just released an EP, right? There we go. And because I'm still learning the language. But when I saw that you had just dropped one, right? That one, very cool. I loved it, and it was a little bit more. It was a different style, but it was like more of a love song, but at the same time, it still had that like that lyric type vibe to it. That was really cool. What else do you have coming out in the near future? Do you have things that you're working on over the next year?
Well, so I think I have things planned out till about 2025.
Holy shit.
Which back in 2023, I had my year planned out for 2024. And like typically, like oddly enough, I'm one of those people where like if I'm like super passionate about something and I'm like I want to do this, my mind won't change. Hence all the tattoos. Like if I'm like I want to get that or I want to do that, like it'll be stuck in my brain and like it typically won't change. So
those are the most successful people, by the way.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Mine change all the time. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Still successful though. So yeah, next, I'm actually gonna be dropping a music video, for the first song that I ever dropped. I'm not even gonna say what song it is, but real fans know. First song I ever dropped. I'm finally gonna drop a music video for that. And then I probably got like 5 more singles to drop. I have another EP to drop. I'm gonna be doing country.
Yo.
So like I got a lot in the works, man. I got a lot in the works.
A little bit of country right
the
there.
difference is
I have to, man. I love
you don't
country.
stick to
Yes.
one different. I was going through your Instagram and I was like, you don't stick to just one genre. There's not just one. Can't put you in one network. Kind of like a Drake complex. Like you can vibe in any network. Go from singing to rapping. What inspired you? Who inspired you?
So like right now, like my top 2 biggest inspirations are Russ and Juice WRLD. R.I.P. my boy Juice. But like Russ is another artist. Like he'll venture out and do different things. You know what I mean? You can get like a super happy, like super vibey song from Russ, and then you have a song from Russ that you can just cry to. Juice WRLD.
I love Russ.
Juice WRLD. Yeah, Juice WRLD in a sense. Almost can be like the same. You know what I mean? Like there's some songs from Juice WRLD that I'll cry to. There's some songs from Juice WRLD like I'll get hyped to, and like Juice WRLD is probably like one of my biggest inspirations for the sole fact that like I got on this wave for just a couple years. Like I used to listen to hip hop music as a kid, and then when I got in my emo phase, I hated hip hop. I hated rap.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know, because to me, like I was very closed minded for a couple years. I'll admit to that. And in my head, I was like, all I do is rap about drugs, money, and hoes. So that's not cool to me.
But
So, and it's not that way. You know what I mean? Like that's a very like a lot of the times it can be that way. But you know, I never like opened up my mind and been like, there's somebody out there that doesn't do that. So finally, somebody was like, have you ever heard Juice WRLD? Because like he raps about feelings and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, put on a song. Lo and behold, Lucid Dreams is on. And I was like, oh, that's my shit, dude. So then I started listening to Juice WRLD a lot, and I found out like his story, and I'm like, oh, dude, like he's amazing. Like I love his music. So like, same with Russ. Russ is an independent artist. I'm an independent artist. So right there, that's like a big, you know what I mean, like thing for me to like really, really latch on to like what Russ says and stuff like that. Because being an independent artist, like I can learn a lot from Russ. And he'll put out videos where he'll be like, as an independent artist, do this, do that. And he's very successful being independent. And it's very hard to do that. You know what I mean?
what makes being an independent artist so difficult compared to signing with a label, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's paying for the labels paying for everything.
I was gonna say, yeah, if you're not like going halves with somebody or like everybody's putting in, like I have to pay for everything by myself. I go to events by myself. I book my own events by myself. Whereas like if you're in a label, you have the manager who's like, we're gonna go to Pennsylvania next weekend and we're all gonna perform. Whereas me, I have to like search out for those opportunities or I have to wait for those opportunities to come to me. So like that's a big part about it. It's like I do everything by myself. Whereas
Yeah.
like
Okay, yeah. So it's the other side of the agent part. Now with the studio stuff, like, do you have your own area where you create, or do you have to like rent time in the studio?
so I do have to pay an engineer basically. Um, So basically, I do go to one person, which is Shiggy. Shout out Shiggy, that's my dude. First engineer I ever went to, and still like my engineer to this day. Um, so yeah, basically like if I have like 5 songs written with the beat and all that, I'll be
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go book 5 hours of studio time. So I'll send him the money, and we'll book a studio session, and I'll be in the studio for 5 hours. Cause typically for me, and I think it's a lot like for most artists too, it's like 1 hour a song, and that's including mixing, mastering for me and my guy too. So I can do 5 songs in 5 hours. And I pay for all that by myself. You know what I mean? I think I just looked at it the other day. And, like, for the most part, I've cashed at him. Occasionally, I've given him cash. I think I've sent him, like, over $2,000. Because it shows you the history, you know what I mean, of, like,
Yeah.
what you've sent people in Cash App. And I'm like, damn, that's a lot of money on studio time
Dude.
already. You know what I mean?
Before you even do a show.
And I gotta tell you, the engineering idea for when it comes to a song, that's got to be so more dynamic. Because like I do editing for our podcast, and I do the audio is the most critical part. The video could fade, like it could suck, like whatever. We can find a replacement. I can throw a picture up, like it doesn't matter. But the audio sucks, like, or if the audio it has an error in it or something, or you don't know how to master that edit, like it can ruin the entire experience. And this is just us talking. Like it's pretty simple to just turn the volume up. You throw on a dynamic cutoff at certain background noises, and then you just go through and slowly edit things. Like for a podcast, it's not hard, but for a song, like that's got to be insanely dynamic. And yeah, I don't know. That just blows my mind that people do that. Because I've recently got to see the background scene of editing, and the things that people can do.
It's craziness, man.
It is. It's fucking insane.
Just like you could be the worst singer ever. And like if you have the right engineer, you could sound like the best singer ever.
Dog, I'd be the fucking goat. I'm telling you right now, you know what I'm saying? I sing like shit. But I digress. If I had the right engineer, you just heard it, man.
No.
I'd sound like Beyonce herself.
You would still sound like shit. I mean, she's giving you when you are an engineer, you're altering the sound. But when you go out there and do it live, everybody's gonna see who you are. So it's no.
I would never go live. I would never do what Hoobastank did. Ever. I would never do that.
But you have to.
We all know what happened. We all saw
it.
They came out with The Reason. You remember that? And then they had it was like Spinning or something, Out of Control, or some other song they did. They went live at like the Nickelodeon shows. Everybody's like, bro, you guys suck.
I would have never went live. But the difference is people want to hear it live. I go to live concerts. Like he'll go to comedy events and all of I like going to live concerts just because I want to see what do I get by seeing you in person. Is it better? A lot of artists sound good on track. That music sounds great, but live, does it still sound good? Still quality.
Right.
Something I can sing along with. Am I going to really end up being a fan? Last concert I went to was Giveon, and I love all types.
He's got a beautiful voice, man.
He does. He has
an
a amazing. And you see people dropping like flies, and you're like, "This is real life. This is something that you want. That's an emotional high that you can't replace." So being on stage and performing in front of people and seeing how they experience your music. When you get off stage, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
I need a Dutch. I need to smoke.
Yeah?
So I don't smoke before my performances, and I really don't drink before my performances. If I do, it's like half of a drink. Cause like I'm always like I feel like I get more anxious before a show if I smoke or drink or anything like that. So it's like I did it, and now I'm ready to actually have fun. Cause like don't get me wrong, like I have fun before a show. I see a lot of people I know. and stuff like that. But it's a lot more fun when you get off stage because now I'm not anxious. Now I can actually kind of be myself now. You know what I mean?
So you don't feel like you're yourself when you're on stage?
I don't know.
I am. It's
I
a
don't know how you don't
different
do that
version
without
of myself.
alcohol. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I don't know how you don't do that without alcohol.
Do what? Perform without alcohol?
No, not the. She said barely any. Like for me, the way I loosen up is give me 2 to 3 whiskey. I'll go out there and have a fucking great time.
Well,
like we're gonna have a blast.
I used to be like that, but like more with like I can go shake my ass now in the club, like that was like my thing. But now I feel like getting up in front of people, it makes me more nervous.
Really?
Yep. It's a whole different feeling, man. Just like when you rehearse and you're like, oh, I got this. Like I just did everything perfect. It's a totally different feeling when you're on that stage. It's like low key, everything that I rehearse, like it feels like it's gone out of my mind. You know what I mean? But like it's still there.
So, I mean, this is crazy because talking to the token, Chris, before we go on every show,
God,
he prays. And I was like, why do you pray before every show? And he's like, man, I just hope that I'm not disheveled, not nervous. I'm just ready to perform. And I was like, it's just like anything else you do in life. You have to live in the moment. So you can't be worried about whether you're going to say something that people might not be receptive to. Just enjoy what you're doing. So you're a part of the live experience.
Yeah.
I want to say 80% of the world is just watching. Another 10% is creating content. And the other 10 is just like in between. Like, I don't know what side I want to be on. I know which side I want to be on. I want to be on the side where I'm entertaining, not being entertained. So when you met that mindset, you don't need the liquid courage to go out there and do it. I'm the show.
you're fuck you, man. You're so noble, like all the time. Like he's like, man, I think about this so deep. And you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna look good while I'm doing it too. But I'm gonna entertain people, baby. This is what I do. And then you hear me over there. Yeah, bro, I gotta get fucked up in order to do anything.
But actually, I know an artist too that does that. He's like, I cannot perform unless I have like 6 shots of vodka. He's like, I'll do it, but it's not gonna be good. It's only gonna be good if I'm fucked up. And I'm like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like I definitely understand. Like everybody's got their thing. You know what I mean? To loosen up.
That's what's weird. It's in my genes a little bit because where I come from, my dad. Holy shit, that dude was a drinker, bro. Like there was certain times like he could finish a whole bottle of vodka in a day, and this is not supported. We don't approve of this, but the dude would drive home and perfect. Like it'd be like insane. Like obviously you don't ever drink and drive. Don't do that. But at the same time, it was just like, it was insane. So there's sometimes for me where I can't. Like I don't, coming in here is 10 times easier, obviously. You're not in front of 100, 200, 400
But
people.
even if we were, I wouldn't change who I am just given the fact that you guys are seeing me right now.
I hate you.
I can't. I'm going to be original,
man.
Me the
really
entire
like
time. Like,
He's
fucking
alright.
He's all right.
I'm not gonna choose sides. I'm not gonna choose
yeah.
sides.
I think you should just sit on this side. But nevertheless, I just can't change because
She
other
doesn't
people
know,
are there.
man. She doesn't know the other side of that. So he's the second most sought after thing in America, right?
Oh yeah.
I've said this a couple times. Number 1 is always money. Number 2 is a black dude with abs, right? Number 3 is a light-skinned black dude with abs. And then when you get into 4, then you talk about bald, but he's got both 2 and 4. So like, you know what I'm saying?
Valid.
So a lot of people always side with him anyway because they're like, oh wow, look at the overweight, long hair, tatted white dude. But there's
he just shits
I'm
on
like
himself.
I'm like number 12.
Just-
I'm number 12 on the list, whereas this motherfucker's number 2.
You see what I
Number
mean?
12?
Like, he
Yeah.
just shits on himself. I wouldn't even put myself at number 2, and I'm glad you put me there. There's the reason why it's called 2 dimes in the token. Because it's supposed to be 2 dimes, you motherfucker.
We are 2 dimes.
Nevertheless, you
But
gotta
there's
speak
there's
highly
There's
a-
of
spectrum dimes, but yeah.
There's a different
Yeah.
spectrum. That's what I'm saying. Like we both graduated college, both did football, all that shit. But on the other end, like when people look at you and they look at me, they think very different things. They're like, wow, that dude does not take care of himself. Then they look at you and they're like, wow. That's what it comes out. It comes out like that. And it's crazy.
I don't think that's how.
I mean, I kind of agree, but I don't know.
You guys are supposed to be siding.
See, I
like
speak
how we're,
in
like,
real.
trying to hype him up, and he's like, "What are you guys talking? No.
I know. He loves getting those weird like pushes up. It's like, hey, no, you can stop it.
He's the only one who's allowed to make himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we're definitely from two different sides of the spectrum. If you can,
Yeah.
Bruck doesn't care. Me, I don't care if I'm going to the grocery store. I care about what people
Yeah.
and how I present myself
I
to you
could
guys.
give a fuck less.
Yeah. Bruck doesn't care. So we live on two different factors of life. I say if I died today, I want to be casket sharp. If he died today, he's gonna look like he's homeless because he doesn't
Look,
care.
I don't care who I meet. We all have an asshole we shit out of. There's
Yes.
no difference, brother.
But the difference
That's it.
is, it's like you have to live now. You are alive now. These moments matter. This is as young as you're gonna be now. This is you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be
I
doing.
might cut that. That was good.
What?
The youngest you're gonna be now.
Yeah, this is the young, but
was
you're
good.
doing exactly what you're doing now, what you want to do. A lot of people act like someone else has control of their life. And they don't. I go out with my friends and Burke be like, you can always say no. Yeah, but I don't want to. I want to have fun because I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. So these are the rewards that come along with the stress that we deal with.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be all stress. Only one thing should be hard, and that's dick. Everything else shouldn't be hard. It should
so
be
rude. You know what?
Life is not meant to be hard.
That was funny, so I'm gonna agree with you.
I'm just letting you know.
That was
See,
good.
I wish I had one I could relate.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. So
I always got mine on me.
grind into the next question. Hey, how long have you wanted a penis? How long? But so kind of let's dive into the other end too. So like obviously we talked about your music. You don't have a specific genre. You don't want to be like confined into a singular box. You basically like spread across all genres, and you have things planned out like for so long now, which to me, by the way, is amazing. That's incredible. What is something that you would hope to accomplish as far as your biggest goal utilizing your performing and music career?
If I'm being honest, I feel like one of the main reasons I do this is like inspiration. If like somebody can see me perform or listen to my music and be like, I feel better now, or like I feel like I can do this now, I feel like I can do that now. Like that's honestly like the biggest thing for me is just knowing that people can look up to me and be like, damn, like I want to not be like that, but I want to at least like achieve the goals that she's, you know what I mean, achieving. Like if you have a goal, go for it. Because like that's, basically my story. It took me years to officially do this, and now that I'm doing it, I'm so happy that I am. So like, you know what I mean, just inspiration and just getting people to do what they want.
That's dope.
Right there, you're enjoying every part of it. Great from the beginning all the way to the part where everybody wants to be at the part where you're making millions of dollars. You have millions of fans, but I enjoy the grind as well as I enjoy the success. I believe that that's going to come as long as you're grinding. Not all grinds. Hell, I grind for like 14 years playing football, and I got nothing from it besides a good body. Nevertheless.
That's a perk.
That's a perk. That's a perk.
You are number 2 because of that.
Nevertheless,
kind of works.
Outside of that, that's the only thing that my results came and gave me was I was in better shape than most people. Yeah. Other than that, that grind isn't going to pay off. This grind, on the other hand, all you're doing is waiting for the right person to hear you, and it can blow up at any given time. So with that in mind, what would you consider this? What's your message that you want everybody to hear from you, that they can only hear from you? Because everyone has a message. If you're talking about Usher, his message is promiscuity. Confessions for 20 straight years. That's his message. I'm the ladies' lover. What's your message?
It's a lot of confessions.
A lot of confession. A lot of
confession.
We just had him at the Super Bowl.
Taking people's girls and shit.
Yeah, Mrs. Steal Your Girl.
Crazy, man.
Him and Trey Songz.
He tried to smash Alicia Keys on stage, bro. You saw that at the Super Bowl. He was like, "Hey, Alicia, you don't have to be married, baby." You know what I'm saying? He did that whole wraparound thing.
Nah, he was just showing her like, I was married once too, and I still cheat.
Let's just call it what it is. I think he's married too, or about to get married.
He was, and he probably is. Usher's
maybe
always
not anymore after that. I don't know.
I digress. I'd love to hear that. I agree. What is your message?
What's your message? You want people to? It won't be confession 20 straight years.
I'd say be yourself, man. Like no matter what, like don't let anybody take away who you are. Like there's people that feel like I shouldn't do every genre. You know what I mean? There's people that are mad at me for doing this genre, and so a lot of people see me more of a hip hop artist. Because that's the majority of the music that it's currently put out. Because, I don't expect people to listen to every single song that I have. So, like, you can listen to 3 of my songs or hip-hop, you're like, she's a hip-hop artist. So, like, I feel like my main message would be yourself and don't let anybody take that away from you. You know what I mean? Don't let anybody come in here and be like, you shouldn't do that. That's not for you. it is for you if you want it to be for you. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the biggest thing, really.
No, that's dope. I love that. That's pretty cool. Authenticity, I think. That's something that I push a lot too, because we just hit on it. I don't believe in dressing yourself up to look good to the public. Dress how you want to dress. Look how you want to look. I like looking homeless. It's cool. Like it's comfortable. Relaxed.
Nobody, you don't get unwarranted attention. When you
I
dress
need
up
that
all
shit.
the time, you get attention from everybody, whether it's good or bad. You get attention. Yeah, I had a woman out there today. Not today, but like a week ago. She was like, "You don't look as good as you think you do." It's like, "Thank you, man." No matter what happens,
You do.
you gave me the attention that I wanted. Whether it's good or bad, otherwise, that's up to you. I'm still okay,
Yeah.
and I put my best foot forward. And I wanted to tell her, like, baby, I hope you have you
Yeah.
eat shit too. But I didn't say that. I was like, I hope you have a good day.
Yeah.
Just be nice, no matter whether what
punch it
comes
right
your
in the
way.
ass cheek.
I mean,
Right in the ass
That'll work.
cheek.
Yeah,
Just
right in the ass
one?
cheek. Just
Not-
fucking no, just the right one. Because you know what it's like to walk normal on the left and then limp on the right. It's frustrating, dude. Trust me. I got a bad hip. So
yeah,
but
from years of playing.
for real, so I want to hit you with the bad decisions make better stories, right? So I think we kind of poked about this before, but the segment is tell us a story or tell us something or a decision that you made that turned out to be fucking horrible in the moment, big time failure, whatever it was, that either now is a funny ass story or it turned out to be the greatest thing that never
Dating my ex. So it's a
relationships.
Go ahead.
it's a crazy way to start this, but like 100% dating my ex. So we were together for almost 2 years. And it was honestly a terrible relationship. We had good moments, of course, as everybody does.
Yeah.
But it was like very, very toxic. And I lost a lot of people in that toxic relationship, which is bound to happen when you have somebody that's insecure about themselves. So I lost a lot of people, et cetera, and I thought that that's what I was supposed to do. You know, in that moment, I was like, I'm supposed to be here. It's just supposed to be me and him against the world. That's what feels right. And now after the fact, I feel like I'm a lot more motivated. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I was confined for a while. Like I didn't go out and party. I couldn't even post on TikTok. You know what I mean? Like it was that bad to where like I was so confined, basically like some Cinderella type shit almost. So now that like I'm out of that, and I have been out of that for a while now, it's been over a year. But I feel like I'm more motivated and I'm more pushed to like be a better person. You know what I mean? Because like I fought for my friends, but I didn't fight for them hard enough. You know what I mean? Like now I feel like the friendships that I have and the relationships that I have with people are better than they would have been back then if I didn't go through what I went through. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? And same with just like being motivated. I wouldn't have been allowed to do music if I was with him, and if I did, it would have had to been like with his people and who he knows. I wouldn't have been allowed to come on the podcast. So like it motivates me a lot more to do these things because I was in a position where at one time I couldn't. Or at one time I couldn't. So like I would have to say it's definitely that. Like I'm definitely a better person now than I was in that relationship, and I don't think I would be the person now if I didn't date him. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. No, that's a learning experience. Yeah, no, I agree. Our past relationships teach us certain perspectives. That's the one thing I really can't stand, though. It's like controlling dudes. Don't be a bitch.
so if you're gonna date a bad bitch, learn how to date a bad bitch.
Damn. Hey, she's like, hey, by the way, here's a pedestal, and I'm on it, motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta understand that comes with attention, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, how much attention do you want? Well, I don't date. But nevertheless,
Yeah.
that's just the notion behind it. You really
Hey, that's why I'm married.
Yeah.
And it's fuck dating. It sounds terrible. It's the worst experience
it's
ever.
really not like she dated somebody for 2 years and it took you 2 years to figure out whether this person was good for you or bad for you. I look at dating the same way. It's just like any business investment that you have. If I invest in this person and it's not a good investment, I'm not going to sit there for too long. Like, oh, this is just costing me money, time, and energy.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't know how long I'm
doing
keep
the
doing
Cat
this.
Williams
Like-
right now. You're doing the Cat Williams right
I'm like,
now.
no, this is not.
I don't know why liars
Oh.
lie.
So I think that's the notion for me when it comes to anybody, not just relationships with anybody. But if that's not being beneficial to both you guys, then you need to take a step back and adjust and say, okay, how do we move forward together? I feel like life is a bus. You determine who's on the bus and who gets off the bus and when they get off the bus. Some people leave and they don't even tell you. And I just wish them well. Hey, I hope you have safe travels. But the people that are on the bus, I get to differentiate. What do I want this role to be, and are we beneficial? Because sometimes we're detrimental to each other. I'm going to pull you down because I'm feeling bad about me.
Yeah.
People don't realize we have different seasons. Women, you can see it because you guys have menstrual cycles. They're like, okay, yeah, she got a little PMS today.
It's a little aggressive.
Yeah, but as a guy, I don't know when you don't
Ladies,
feel
I
good.
hope you shit on them on the internet for that.
They never do. Nevertheless.
Bro, I'm a bitch on my period. I'm like,
That's what
I know I'm about to get it when I'm like super angry at everything. And I'm like, that shouldn't be pissing me off like it is, but it is.
Yeah.
So as a woman, you
Dog.
know when the mood changes because you have that. As a guy, you don't know when your mood is changing.
Yeah.
So I studied Kobe for a while. Kobe always said, know how you feel. First thing in the morning. If you feel good, why? And if you don't feel good, why? And adjust accordingly. Before you pour into anybody else, pour into yourself. And the people that really take away from you pouring into yourself, those are the people that you're supposed to distance yourself. So having, the only lesson I want to teach Mikey and my sons is general. Know your audience, know your crowd, and know what those people are doing to you. If you're okay with that person taking advantage of you, then that's not really taking advantage of you.
Yeah.
That's the lifestyle that you afford with you. Whereas though that person is good for you, they're good for you. Keep the people around you that help you grow. The people that don't,
Yeah.
separate from
Get the fuck rid of them. So I do want to switch gears in the other end. So like we said, we talked about you do some fitness stuff, and I wanted to kind of dive into that. I'd love to get, and if you're comfortable with it, I'd love to get a female's perspective on this. You actually, because when you responded back, said you hit us up, like I went down the rabbit hole. I wanted to listen to music. I wanted to understand things. The one thing I'll tell you is I've probably listened to probably 80% of the music that you have out there. I'll never remember a single name of any song because I'm horrible with words. Yeah, so like, but at the same time, like I was digging a lot of it. Right now, you made a comment on one of your videos. You made a comment. You were like, "Hey, why do I get more traction when I post a video of me working out than when I'm doing my right?" Yeah. So having started the fitness stuff comparative to also posting out your music stuff, what has been the motivator for you to start the fitness material first?
So I started seeing other like fitness people on my TikToks and whatnot when I started working out. And I was like, that's like kind of inspirational and I can learn a lot. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of like fitness influencers that I follow where like I'm still learning, like, oh, I could be doing this in the gym instead, or oh, I've been doing this wrong and I'm not. So it's really like the motivation behind it is what I like. You know what I mean? Like I feel like posting those workout videos, and I've had people message me and they're like, hey, like I see your fitness videos and like I want to go to the gym now. You know what I mean? So
That's good. So on the other end too, like obviously there's a whole other side that sometimes, half of society just like loves to avoid, and the other half is the ones indulging into it, right? There's often a lot of times it's sexualized all the time. Like, how do you feel like putting that stuff out? Because obviously we know the intention, we know the goal. Because I've actually reached out to a lot of female influencers and been like, hey, I'd love for you to come on. I'd love to talk about this. And it's like, you guys don't have that problem. Like, I know that, there are women that'll scroll through and be like, oh man, he's hot, like whatever. But there'll be dudes, you'll see chain of fucking comments like, so beautiful. Hey, thick as hell, girl. Like all this, like catcalling on the fucking internet.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, what is your thoughts on the whole thing?
So I actually get this question a lot, and I love it. Just for the fact that like I understand why it is the way it is. You know what I mean? Like this is a society that we live in, especially now, where you have like a lot of female rappers and stuff like that that are very sexualized, and that's like how they make their money. You know what I mean? Like sex sells, and everybody knows that. So, you know what I mean? Like I despise it though for the sole fact that like it is true, you know what I mean? I'll post a selfie right now and get 1,000 likes, but then if I post the same selfie like with music in the background or something, it's not going to get as much because like people just don't care about them. Like they won't care about the music at all. They'll only care about the selfie. You know what I mean? And it's so insane, and it's being like an artist, it's so difficult. You know what I mean? To get people to care about the music, especially when like I started off as an influencer. So I started off just making funny videos and stuff like that. So people never had to care about the music. And now that like I post about it, it's like we don't care about this. We're not even following you for that. You know what I mean? So like it's really difficult, honestly, like being a female that like has all these other intentions, but everybody else has all these other intentions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wouldn't know how to deal with that. Like, I mean, I get getting complimented a lot, but you know, at the same time, like, it's something almost like you like for me as a dude, you got to be real about it. It's something that you would see in a movie. You know what I mean? Like you see someone's like, no, I'm telling you this, and this, but society has been like, no, you're being an asshole. He's like, no, I'm trying to help you, and the whole society starts hating him, like that type of stuff in a movie. I it's so difficult for me to look at the workout videos for a lot of women, especially posing, powerlifting, those types of things. You know what I'm saying? Like bodybuilding competition. There's so many times where those girls like post shit up. And you see 10,000 comments, like just thirsty ass dudes. It's like, I mean, I'm glad you get the confidence on the internet.
I
But
stopped
that's
reading my comments after a
yeah,
while. I don't
that's
even
gotta
read.
be so frustrating. Like it's I
He
get
loves the comment. Go ahead.
I love the negative comments. I love when people talk shit.
Oh, me too.
Oh, I
It
love
like fuels me more. I laugh. I will literally laugh. I'll be like,
Yeah.
that's hilarious that you just took time out of your day to hate on me. Like,
yes.
you just took time out of your day for me. Like,
Yes. And it's so funny. There's sometimes some guy was like, "Man, you guys are fucking stupid," and then I'll go in there and I'll just write like flag, and then what with like 12 question marks. I'll be like, exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's like funny, and it pushes the algorithm in the comments. So I'm like, dude, it's funny to me. Now I'm having fun with it. But on that other end, it's just like, to me, I can actually see the other side and how frustrating it would be to try and share a message or to try and share motivation and do those things. And you have 20,000 people that look at it, and it's taken completely the way that you're not trying to go. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a big problem in today's society a little bit. To me, it is.
I think
understand the intention.
No, I want to go piggyback off of the industry that you're in as far as music. I feel like a lot of people feel like they can be successful wherever they are, and there's a lot of people that actually move to where people are successful. What's your mentality when it comes to that? Like, do you feel like you're gonna stay in New York and then that's where you're gonna get your fame, or do you feel like you got to move to California or Atlanta?
I like how you switch subjects real quick there.
No, I like that because she was just saying like it's so hard for people to see you outside of just a pretty picture.
Don't worry, I was joking.
Got you. I'm just letting you know. I wanted to know, how do you get? Like my best friend, one of my best friends, actually does music as well. I seen him struggle for a whole year. He's making beats. He's in the room, clock, the door's closed, and it's just him, and he's working his ass off trying to make something out of it. And it may be 3 songs in 3 weeks.
Talking about
Roscoe. You mean it may be 3 songs in 3 weeks, but those songs mean everything to him. This is what 3 o'clock in the morning he'll wake up and write a verse. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to sleep. But nevertheless, you understand like it takes those moments in order for people to recognize you and hear you. He's in Miami where music is everywhere, so it's not hard to be a local artist in Miami and still reach the pinnacle. I can still perform with Chuck Daddy and Rick Ross because I'm where people do music. Where you are in New York, it's not as big to where everyone, it's not the mecca of music. So trying to be the upper echelon, but you're not where everybody is. Do you plan on moving in that direction, or do you feel like you can make it where you are?
So I definitely feel like traveling is big. You know what I mean? Not necessarily moving out of New York, but I definitely feel like hitting every other state is very important. You know what I mean? Like right now I'm here in Florida. You know, like little stuff like that. Like I feel like traveling is definitely important, and if you're not traveling and going to other places, like, you know, your chances are lower. They're definitely a lot lower. It's like at some point I do want to go to Cali. At some point I do want to go, you know what I mean, to all these other states and like share my music with all these other people, cuz like that's the one of the best ways to make it, especially being in person. Because like you have like a social media persona and then you have like your in-person persona. So like even if somebody doesn't like your social media persona, if they see you in person, they could like the in-person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I can feel that. Have you, kind of a weird side question, you ever been walking down the street or anywhere in public and run into a fan?
In a sense, yeah. But
Yeah?
it hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah.
But it's actually a really funny story. So this is before I started doing music, but I was big on TikTok. So this is back when I had like 100K on TikTok, and I had a couple videos that were blown up. I was like 18, 19. And I used to go, we have this club in Syracuse called Trex. And it's technically a gay club, but it is like the most fun club that we have. It's nothing super special. It's
Be
nothing
honest.
super real.
Gay clubs always
Gay
fun.
clubs are always
That's what I'm
fun, bro.
saying.
Yeah.
They play
Yeah.
good music.
They are.
Nothing
And
but
people,
good
they're there to
people.
just have fun.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the one thing about gay clubs. No matter what, you just show up like nobody goes there with that intention,
Yeah.
and it's fun.
You got to be careful because people don't know boundaries sometimes, but it's still a good time.
Yeah. But
So,
for women,
like-
they know boundaries with guys.
Hey.
don't get it twisted, baby.
Dudes will be investigating real quick.
There's
now,
an
that's
exit
fun.
only
Oh,
over
for
here.
sure, for
Exit
sure.
only.
But continue.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so I went out to Trex, and like that was like my spot for a couple years. Like I was going out there every weekend getting super drunk. So this one time I'm at the bar, I'm chilling. This big super tall dude comes up to me and he goes, "Are you Batmanda?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "Oh my god, I follow you on TikTok. It's so cool to meet you." Starts freaking out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know what to do. This was like one of my first times being noticed for like anything on social media. Like
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh, it's cool. It's nice to meet you." He's like, "Can I buy you a drink? Let me buy you a shot. Whatever you need." And like the whole night he's like following me around. Like it did kind of get a little annoying, not gonna lie. And like I got to a point where like I'm kind of uncomfortable. I don't even want to drink anymore. And he had like bought me a shot, and I was like, "I'm not gonna do the shot. You do the shot." Dude gets on one knee, goes to you, and takes the shot. And I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like it was such a
Dog.
crazy experience, dude. And I'm like, oh my god, like that was probably like one of my first like real experiences.
Yeah.
with
That
something
would.
like that.
That's got to be something crazy when it comes to fandom, because that's one thing I've noticed. Like, I've had a dream where we would blow this up, and I would love to do this for a living. 2 to 3 podcasts a day. Just I love sitting and learning about people's lives. Like I think it's so interesting. Like what you do, telling about your message, your courage, how you started, your music, all the way up to telling us this story. Like to me, it's fascinating when you see other people, right? But the blow up from that and the fandom that you get, like Taylor Swift or like someone else, you know what I mean? That many people do obsessive shit, and that's the 80% of the population that you're talking about that love to be led, and it's like, holy fuck, the extent that they go to be fans. It's like, bro, relax.
No, I
Like-
mean, I feel like you can, as a guy, I'm receptive. Oh, yeah, by all means. You love me? That's great.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Oh, most definitely,
I mean,
most definitely.
most but as a woman, you have a sense
I'm gonna interrupt you. He had a groupie. He did
For
a groupie.
real?
Yeah, I mean, those are.
Like, for real?
I didn't have your experience. I definitely
Listen,
took it
hey,
home.
let me tell you something. We got 20K on TikTok. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So he's next thing you know, she's like, "Oh my god, you're on that podcast."
Yes.
And he went,
Yeah.
"Yes,
Yes,
yes, I am."
I am. Nevertheless, but you take advantage of those because as a guy, rarely do you walk in the room and people acknowledge you. They see you, but they don't say anything. So when people see you and they say something, it's like, okay, and then you receive their energy and it was all love. Now, by all means, yeah, you're a little creepy because you follow me, but by all means, everybody's following somebody. She was just like, I only stalk your social media 2 or 3 times a day. And I was like, okay, that's a little weird because I never post. But nevertheless, it's still good that you hear people that are reaching out to you and you're not even reaching out to them. I wasn't ready to receive what she was giving, but at the same time, it's good to know that people see you and they're like, man, I would mess with that person if I knew them. Because a lot of people on social media, I'm like, I wouldn't even buy them a drink, let alone spend a day with them. If you're vague and it's only what you see, then there's nothing really to you. But when you see that person, you're like, man, when you said this, I really gravitated towards it. Just like music. When you have that one song and that person's like, man, it helped me out of a dark period of my life, you're like, man, what I'm doing really matters. And that's what I ask myself day in and day out. What I'm doing really matters. Today, I will go into the next segment, which is the spice of the week. My spice of the week was coaching these kids today and saying, okay, showing them what I did on Wednesday and then seeing what they do on Saturday and they're putting it into fruition and seeing success from it. I'm saying what I'm doing really matters. And it not only affects me, it affects that kid, it affects that kid's parents, it affects their life and how they look at themselves today. Tomorrow they may have the negative mindset, but today they feel like I'm the man. just scored. I listened to coach, did what I was supposed to do. So for me, I feel like you got to take the little wins as they come, and whatever comes from what you're doing, be receptive, good, bad, or otherwise.
Almost definitely. I love it, honestly. Like, I feel like how you feel. Like, somebody comes up to me and they recognize me, I feel like the shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, like, that's dope.
You know what though? You see how deep he gets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I did that with her too.
Yeah. Damn.
Took it a little deep.
Hey,
I'm single. I don't care what y'all say.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
So, but that's the other side is he's so in touch with himself and his feelings.
I don't
You
do
know
any
what I'm
threes. No number three.
No number threes. No tokens.
No tokens.
So actually, yeah. So we're diverting into the. Well, I don't want to go there yet.
Go ahead.
I still had.
I'm just letting you know my spice of the week.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
seen-
Well, so we'll be able to skip that at the end.
Yeah. Go directly
So
to yours truly.
the other thing I would love to just kind of I want to open free form, man. What is something that you've been passionate about that you have yet to be able to talk about in public?
Ooh, that's actually tough. I would say music, but I have spoken about it so much. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't been on a lot of like in-person platforms. A lot of it has been like over the phone or over like a live or something like that. But I feel like it's a lot better being in person, being able to speak about my stuff. You know what I mean? Like, being able to like look at you guys in the face and talk to you rather than like just over a phone screen.
This is a different vibe.
It is, and
Yeah.
it's. I'm not gonna say it's a better vibe, but it is. You know what I mean? It
No,
is
it
a
is.
better
It
vibe.
is.
It is.
It is.
Right. Like,
You
I don't
must-
want to knock the people that do it, but like, it definitely is a lot better.
That's
to, like,
the
sit
other
here
end.
and
While we
listen.
try to travel, we've tried to travel to different ones, and then that's
we
why.
having travel next week.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to St. Louis.
Ooh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm not going.
It's not a team effort.
I'm
or-
going to stay home, not a team
I
player.
don't know. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah. It depends how this podcast ends.
Ah.
Okay.
Because I mean, you see how he's, number two. He's fucking getting all emotional and just annoying as fuck. I love the guy. There's never a time when we won't walk out of here and I won't give him a hug. You know what I'm saying? Give him a little. You know what I'm saying? But just he's just so much better than me, and it makes me jealous. So, but anyway, I digress. So like you said, music, but at the same time, the environment of the vibe, like this, talking in person is way better. But like, what else? Is there anything deeper that you kind of like thought about in the past, or have some type of opinion on that you'd love to voice?
I mean, really, just we already kind of touched on it before, like the whole like automatically just like being sexualized because you're a woman. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've posted some spicy things here and there. Okay, like I've gotten better with it because I don't want to be that person, and I never really was that person. But like, of course, as a female, you're gonna post a little spicy here and there. Nothing too crazy, but you feel good about yourself. But like at the end of the day, like it just sucks so bad. Like if you're not that type of female, you know what I mean? Don't treat her like she's that type of female. Well, there's nothing wrong with like if you have an OnlyFans and all that, more power to you. You know what I mean? Get that bread, get that money. But like that's not who I am. You know what I mean? So like if people could like kind of recognize that and be like, okay, she's posting her music right now. I'm not gonna comment, oh, you're beautiful. I'd love to take you out on a date. You know what I mean? Just like little things like that. Like I just wish so bad that like people could recognize like when is the time to be that person and when is the time to like not be that person. And it's like impossible to actually get it. You know what I mean? Especially in the generation today.
No, it is. I agree, and it's tough, especially when you're on the come up. And like, let's be honest, Beyonce does not have that problem, right? But she's at the echelon of female music, so it's different. No, it's funny because I'd love to share my opinion, but honestly, it's hard for me to because I've never had that problem. I've never been up on the internet and been sexualized to the point where I can't get my point across.
That's valid.
As a slightly overweight white dude with with a Duck Dynasty beard, which I just trimmed, by the way, so it's looking good.
Yeah, looking good.
See, I know you noticed
Looking
that.
good.
But no, man, to add on to that, I agree with it. I think it's something that's really, really difficult in today's society. And I just recently commented on a post, and it was something that was a little bit unrelated, but it had something to do with somebody was sharing something about how a wife would say, "Hey, I want to get ice cream," and the husband would say, "Oh, I don't really want ice cream, but I'll take you to go get it," and that's a big problem for married women. And to me, it's like, why is that a big problem? That comment got like 25 hate responses, and it's like I don't understand that. So it's understanding where the point of what you're trying to say is. There's a vision of what you're trying to share, and the fact that people only look at your body and they don't look at the soul of the message that you're trying to spread. To me, that would be, if I were to put myself in those shoes, like that would make me so irritated. I would have quit. I would have quit all those things. Like the podcast stuff. We had an incident where I was ready to quit the podcast because we had so many problems, and then we went to Bare Knuckle 57 live. And Cyrus Fees got us a media pass, and we were cruising the whole thing. We got to interview with the fighters, and next thing you know, it's like, man, we're back in business, But if that be the case, and I'm trying to share a message over months and months of time, and all anybody does is say, damn, you got a nice ass, like, I'm going to be honest, that would demotivate me from doing anything.
I mean, but it's going to always be distractions out there. Yeah. And with having those distractions, just let those fall by the wayside. For me, I would look at things like, what's your end goal? As an artist, Usher, even after 20 years of doing this, his goal was to play at the Super Bowl. I want to be in front of the biggest audience I can possibly get, and let them see what their energy and see if they're receptive.
Finally did, and he put it in Alicia Keys' butt.
Yeah, he was half naked, but nevertheless, he understood sex sells. They wanted to see me take off my shirt. They don't get it twisted. So
I think that's the problem, though.
What's that?
That's the problem. Stop selling sex. You want to solve this issue? See, I'm a component of, I don't like to just talk about the problem. That's kind of what, as a guy, that's kind of what you have to do. I can't sit here and say it, but I'm finally you said that, and it just kind of ignited me a little. Solve the fucking problem. Number one, stop sitting on a computer and commenting to women that you think are hot, bro. Go out and fucking ask one out. Like, get some balls, bro. On the other end, it's like, stop selling sex. I get sex sells. Trust me, I get it, bro. Strip clubs are one of the most profitable industries in the entire world.
Gotcha.
I get it. But at the same time, like, stop. The reason why they said, what did they say? 80% of guys don't ever have sex throughout their lives, or some bullshit. I don't know. Probably
80% seems like a lot.
Yeah. That's what I said, but it was
a lot of guys don't get no ass. But nevertheless, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll be honest, there is a lot of dudes that don't get no ass.
I know a lot of guys that don't get nothing.
Yes,
whatsoever.
I'm
in the layup line.
But that's the thing, man, and it's like, I get it, but you gotta understand, it's not all about looks all the time. Like, bro, it's about confidence. It's about understanding that, dude, I used to say this all the time, and this is very derogatory. I was in college, so don't fucking judge me, but we're just being honest here. I used to tell all of my friends that they would look at me and they'd be like, bro, you get around. I'd be like, no, dude, I've fucked thousands because I've asked millions. But that's the mentality. It's like, bro, I've gone on 3 dates because I asked 30 women out. It's it. Like, just don't be afraid of no. And I think the confidence level of men in today's generation is the problem in what has led to this society that is driven by sex and sexualizes women when they're trying to post the same things that a dude will post. I'm cool with I want women to be able to post their health fitness stuff, right? I want that because it should be motivational to other women. Dudes should look at, this sounds weird, but dudes should look at other dudes when it comes to health and fitness and that stuff on social media. Because I can't base my results off of following a girl. It's a completely different anatomy. I need to understand my anatomy and what works best. You know what I'm saying? But in order to solve the problem, right? Stop selling sex. It's cool. Like, I get it. Everybody wants it because it makes money and everybody wants it. But, like, find a way to sell alternatively. That's the only way to solve the problem.
But you don't have anybody that doesn't. Like, you have your Ed Shermans, and he still gets idolized for sex. It does not matter what the artist is. They want to know what your body looks like, so on and so forth. It's all about giving us more than what meets the eye. As an artist, that's your job. It's to give us everything. That's the reason why you have.
Why do I have to take clothes off in order to do it?
Name a female actress that doesn't get naked in a movie. That hasn't gotten naked.
Julia Roberts.
But she played a whore. And don't get it
She didn't get naked.
but she did everything.
That's not the question you asked.
What I'm saying is,
That's a plot. That's different.
so you played the role, but you didn't get naked. That's even worse.
No, it's
Now,
not.
When I look at Julia Roberts,
It's God damn it, it's not.
I don't look at her like, oh, she's a great mom. I look at her like, yeah, she was a hoe in that movie. That's not. You're not putting
You're
yourself.
talking about 1 out of 100.
I don't care because people have their whole career. If
No.
I'm Wolverine, his whole career is
Man,
based off of.
Get in on this. Tell me, what's your opinion of that?
You're a DC fan. Wolverine, his whole career,
No,
he can
that's,
do.
that's Marvel, baby.
But I'm just saying. Nevertheless.
I was about to say Wolverine's.
I'm sorry, but nevertheless,
Ah,
you
my
can
dog.
do. You can do. He did one movie. His whole life is about that one movie, that one role.
That's not true.
What name another movie? he's in.
No, he was in the. He was a detective in like The Illusionist.
Oh my
or
God,
something
jeez.
like that.
Nevertheless,
I never
his
knew that.
whole career is predicated off of that one movie. So that's what you're known by.
He did that the singing thing.
Yeah, I'm glad you. When they see him,
I don't get into that movie.
But when I'm
The
saying,
Great Showman. The Great Showman.
yes,
Oh, that was a good movie.
it was a good movie.
Yes.
I love that movie.
Yeah, and he can actually sing. But I'm saying when people see him, they don't go to the Great Showman. They think about
They
Wolverine.
think of Wolverine.
So when you do movies, what you do does matter, and it does show
I
how
get it.
people perceive.
But I think that people look at Julia Roberts for quite a few roles. I don't think they
I
look
look
at her
one.
just for Pretty Woman.
Just one.
No, you look at her like
I know,
that.
I know.
Because you
Same thing.
sexualize women, you deviant
it's
fuck.
Okay, it's okay. Social media makes it this way. Listen, I believe that they put themselves out in that manner. When you think about
Yeah.
Halle Berry, Monster Ball, that's what comes to mind to me. I didn't do that. She
Actually,
did that.
Ironically, this sounds terrible. I'm literally like for 2 seconds I'm jumping on your side of the fence real quick. It's actually Swordfish when she put the book down. She had boobs out. Now I'm jumping back on the other side. That's what I think of.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's very valid. Like
Terrible.
when you do stuff like that, you are literally like known for that one thing for the most part. Like there's people that like you don't see Julie Roberts for that, but I'm sure a lot of people only see her for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. What's her name? Margot Robbie or something, the girl that played in Barbie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know her for Suicide Squad Harley Quinn.
Yes.
A lot of people know her from Wolf
she
of Wall
got
Street.
butt naked in Wolf
Right,
of Wall
I
Street.
just found that out. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. They're like, "Oh, Margot Robbie, she's so bad." I was like,
Hey,
I was
he's
like,
really starting.
wait, she actually got like it because I've never, don't hate me. A lot of people hate me. I've never actually seen Wolf of Wall Street. I've seen clips, like I know what it's about and all that, but I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So like when they were like, yeah, she's such a baddie, da. Remember her in Wolf of Wall Street? I was like, what's she doing in Wolf of Wall Street? She's like, she got butt naked, and I was like, for real? Like they didn't censor it?
No.
It wasn't even a censor.
In the middle of the movie theater, we went to see that when it first came out. In the middle of the movie theater, he said, "Pause it." No, he said, "Pause. I gotta hit a number 3."
Perfect. But that's what. But no, in all honesty, that's what sells. People don't.
I get it. But what we could do, regardless, change the scope, change the perspective. Like, I understand that people indulge in it because it's like it's what people want. It's one of the raw nature ideals of human beings. What is it? That intuition. Like, you know what I'm saying? They talk about even when you have a domesticated cat, they still have killer instinct, right? So what humans do, right? I get that. But you can change what you sell. Yes, you can take losses. It's okay. It's okay to take losses for something that's better for people. I believe in people over money. So to me, it's like, stop selling the portion of the movie that only shows the tits and the ass. You know? Sell the portions of the movie of what the movie was really about. Sell the plot. You know what I'm saying? That goes to the product, right? Sell the portion of when she posts a fitness video. It's like, sell the portion of her doing a workout where people can comment and say, hey, I think you should do this. Or, hey, shout out, yo, you inspired me to do legs today. Or whatever it may be. Because the intention has a much bigger purpose than what people use it for. And it's so hard for human beings to get out of that rap. It's like when people get into a pornography addiction. And this is real. That pornography addiction shit is fucking real. And people have a hard time letting go of that shit. And it becomes their entire lives. They literally move things around so they can fucking find a way to watch pornography. You know what I mean? But if you changed the mindset to do things that were more difficult, rather than just, it's easy to hop on your phone or go on your computer and all that. It's more difficult to try and have a goal. Go get more fit. Go do these things. And if people stopped selling sex it would be a little bit easier for society to make that transition and stop sexualizing people. I'm going to say people because a lot of women are sexualized. There are some men. But, I mean, to me, it's so frustrating. It really is because I will watch fitness videos, and I love following fitness women. I love it because they're honestly, some of them have had inspirational stories where they had 4 kids, and then fast forward 5 years, and they're a fucking world champion bodybuilder. And it's like, no, I wasn't gonna let, I wanted to create my kids, and I love my kids, but I wasn't gonna let the effects of 4 pregnancies affect my body. I wanted to turn my body into what I wanted. You know what I mean? That deserves respect, not 400 dudes from their mama's basement saying, bro, I'd totally smash. Like, that's fucking horrible. To me, it's a shame. It's fucking terrible.
Unfortunately, I feel like there's no way, like, you're not going to get enough people that want to be that way compared to the people that want to be that way. So, like, that's the thing about it is it's like, it upsets me some days. Like, some days I'll be pissed when I read my comments. I'll be like, what the fuck, dude? Like, but then on the other hand, like, I do have people that message me and they're like, hey, like, this song really, like, emotionally hit me. You know what I mean? Like, this song most definitely helped me. And you know what I mean? That puts me back in the mindset of, like, okay, so, like, either way, like, as much as, like, it'll upset me, I'm still getting, like, the attention. I'm still getting the love. You know what I mean? So, like, at the end of the day, like, I have to still be happy that, like, these people are at least, like, commenting and helping my algorithm and this, that, the third. It just kind of sucks. And, like, I'm not perfect on social media. Like, I'll admit, like I said, like, I do post some spicy shit here and there. So, like, who am I to really complain? Who am I to be like, how dare you sexualize me and then post a picture of my ass? But
bro,
at the same time...
Be hypocritical right now. It helps my argument. All right?
Man, I am kind of a hypocrite sometimes. But, shit, aren't we all?
But, yeah, I know I agree with that. I think
why I stay silent.
I think there's a difference. I think there is a big difference. There's a big difference between women. Let's go to the one. Women love to post pictures of their ass when they do glute workouts constantly because that is the work. Dudes post pictures of the buys and the tries because that's what we work, right? Why is it different when you post the same picture? Yes, it is a little spicy, but at the same time, you're posting it for the growth and the development of the work that you've put in.
Being proud.
That's
right,
the point.
exactly.
It is. It is. I get that point of argument.
I used to have no ass, bro. I used to be flat back as fuck. So
Yeah,
like
little pancake back there.
yeah, bro,
Yeah.
extended back.
Now-
you know what I'm talking like?
Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
I've
You
been
gotta
Now,
take a
there.
on the other side, the
Sure,
one
bro.
thing I will say is the other side of women that we're not talking to, I believe, right now. Those are the ones that are like they post like just their nipple like through a white shirt, and they're like, "Hey, how's your Tuesday?" Like that is like I'm promoting people to go to my OnlyFans, like that type of stuff. That I know that would ruin a lot of businesses for those women, but at the same time, like I don't think you should have that kind of business.
This is, I got to be honest with you. Hearing this, I wanted to give you great perspective. You have wives.
Bro, you giving us 4 of them today.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but you got wives, you got girlfriends, and you got everything else. There is no that class.
So if you're not a wife or a girlfriend,
you outside. That's what we call it. You're outside for the public. And
you outside,
I'm
bro.
outside. I'm outside.
You outside. You don't have no problem with the categories you're in because as a woman, you get hit on as soon as you leave the house.
Yeah.
They have to say no. As a guy, you can go through a whole year, be at the gym every day, and nobody say another guy will say something to you.
Yeah.
But a woman won't say anything.
I
to
would.
you.
I have.
The notion behind it.
She'd be like, listen, your bulge is phenomenal.
Those great sweatpants are looking nice.
Nevertheless, but you still, as a guy, you don't get attention. You don't get recognition. So that social media allows you to have the even playing field. That gives that kid that doesn't have confidence. If I like this picture and she goes back and looks at my profile, maybe it's like me shooting my shot without actually shooting my shot. It's giving that shy guy a chance to have the audience or a seat at the table. So I look at it like when you have those different categories, and some women don't want to be married. Some women don't want to be in a relationship, but they still want attention. They still want that satisfaction that they get from being in a relationship, the endorphins that you get from the attention from the guys that like you. So they post those things in order to get that. It's all about energy and how you receive it and what energy you want. So in those categories, you gotta have that feel where you're sexualized because women wanted to see Usher naked. We all knew the halftime show he wasn't gonna have a shirt on. I knew it going in, but that's what you have to. He didn't do 20 years of work to get on stage and put on a nice outfit, and that's it, and just skate.
I'll be honest, I didn't want to see him with a shirt on, but at the same time, we've all seen it at least 100 times in all the music videos. Remember, You Got It Bad? That was one I used to. No, I used to play that whenever you would. Whenever we were in college, we're doing nasty dude things, kind of trying to hit on women and just like lying to them and saying, "I really care about you." No, every dude has done that in their early age. I don't give a fuck what you say. You can lie and say that you didn't. We all did it, right? I would just put on some Usher songs and just be like, you know what I'm saying? But either way, all those. This is the same dude that said he's the same dude that said I want to be an artist.
I want to be an artist. That
yes.
You have to put
he
on.
said Usher specifically earlier in the podcast.
But you have to understand.
Hey, recap, rewind that.
You can rewind.
Hey, Brock, rewind
As a woman, she'll tell you. Sometimes they just want you to shut the fuck up.
By the way, I want to slow-mo that. Yeah. I want to be Usher.
You mean? Yeah, that'd be crazy. Nevertheless, but as a woman, majority of the time, you want a guy to shut up. You don't want to hear what he has to say because sometimes you're in your own head.
I think then you're with the wrong person.
No, it's because you're with the person.
All jokes aside.
All jokes aside.
I'm not being funny right now. Yeah, I think if you really believe that, regardless, you can say anything you want after this. I think then you're with the wrong person.
It's the same thing with a guy. If I want you sexually, I don't want to hear your voice. I'm just listening to you so I can get what I want.
I would disagree because
women have the same mentality. They know whether they want to sleep with you the moment they see you.
I don't like talking about my personal relationship, but at the same time, like there's times where I'm like, "Hey, you better get it." But then when she has something to say, like, bro, I want to hear you talk. I love listening to.
But that's the difference between people that are single and in a relationship. You have someone that takes a picture of your moments, that are there for your moments.
Yeah.
That's it. When you're single, you don't have nobody that's taking pictures with you in those moments. Oh, it's New Year's. Let me take a picture.
That's not
kissing.
True.
No.
Sometimes they got cats.
Damn shame. Nevertheless.
I got 2 cats. I'm single with 2 cats.
She straight up, I saw it. She went, I got 2 cats.
Hold on.
No.
The difference is being in a relationship is saying, I want someone to share these moments.
Yeah.
That's the only difference between single and being with somebody.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through these next couple chapters by myself. I'm okay with going through the chapters by myself because that person has to add value or help motivate them. If we're not doing that, because I'm going to go back to what I said before, then we're doing each other a disservice.
Yeah.
So when it comes to sexualizing yourself, if that's what's going to get your attention in order for me to get my message across, I'll do that. I'll be out here with no shirt on in order to get you to actually look and pay attention to the content behind it.
How do you feel?
He's got a valid point for sure. Like, I can definitely understand that. Same with, like, some females don't want to hear the dude talk and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in that position where I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't want to hear what you got to say. Like,
let's just have a good time.
I've been there, you know what I mean? But then I've also been on the other side of the spectrum. Where it's like, I do want to hear what you have to say. I do want to hear your message. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm kind of, like, on the fence with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 50-50. Like, I can see both sides. Yeah.
No, I feel you, man. I think this has been great. I think this is dope. Let's merge in.
I want to merge in.
Let's merge in.
Go ahead.
Come on, let's merge into our spice of the week.
Before you get to the spice, I want to ask that real question. Like, what would be your best if Usher said his pinnacle is the Super Bowl? What's your pinnacle? Where would you like to perform
that's what I'm saying. That we asked the goal thing, but her goal wasn't about platform.
But everybody has, like, I would like to sing at Madison Square Garden. I would like to perform in front of X amount of fans.
I mean, it definitely, like, that. I would say, like, probably being on the biggest platform, you know what I mean, with my music is definitely, like, it's not, like, a main goal of mine. It's one of those things where, like, if it happens, and it's cool.
That's the dream.
You know what I mean? If it happens, it's cool. But, like, if it doesn't, I'm still cool with that at the end of the day because there's people that see my message, too.
So give me a stadium. Like, would you say somewhere in California? Would you say somewhere in say Las Vegas? Would you say New York? Or you go to the Garden? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I gotta go with the Garden just because I'm from New York. Granted, I'm not from the city,
Hey, give me that.
but
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I gotta
That's
go.
good.
With
Way to
I
go.
gotta go with the
So
Guardian.
you
That's
sell out
good.
the Guardian, and you officially say, no matter what, I made
fucking made it.
I'm successful. I made it.
Oh yeah.
And once you get to that point, then what?
Live
Yeah.
life as I made it, man. I'd go fucking spend money on dumb shit at that point.
Yeah.
Dog.
Like-
Hey, I'd buy a fucking tiger. Like no
So
doubt,
right.
I'd be just like Tiger King, baby, except not gay. I would buy 2 tigers, and I'd be in there every time you woke up, and you'd see me out in the living room because you know I get up earlier than my wife. Every time she'd come out, I'd be looking. I called you twice, not a fuck you or nothing. You know, one of those every single morning. That's what I'd do if I had that kind of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just wake up with Tiger.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would cuddle with pumas.
You know, I'm being
You know what I'm
honest with
saying?
bro. I like it when you're struggling way more than you're successful. You sound like a dickhead.
I know, but I don't care. I
Just
love cats.
2 cats next to me.
Fuck you.
That's
I love
success.
cats.
Every morning, just
Those
It would be
cats.
like
Big
an
ass cat.
upgrade because right now I got house cats, and then imagine having like big cats.
Yes.
It's an upgrade.
Dog,
An
hey,
upgrade's
right
an
here.
upgrade.
Don't leave me hanging right now.
look.
Give me this
He's
right
giving
here.
you- 'cause
Yes.
I'm not with the cat formation. He makes me have these
Whatever. And
You're
the
not a
best
cat
part
guy
is
at all,
we're
right?
at we're
It's
we're
not.
closing.
I've never had cats.
We're closing up right now, and these you already said your spice, so now he don't have to be on. Fuck him. You know what I'm saying? So
He's a cat lover.
I love cats.
I
Bro.
got dogs.
Cats are my shit.
Bro, cat people will fight for cats.
That's
all
what I'm
day.
saying.
Dog.
They're
Hey,
the most perfect creatures.
I have the most adorable photo.
Screw the shit out
Hey,
of me.
you really just threw a pillow.
Yeah,
You really
because you
just
said they're the most adorable creatures.
yeah. Fuck it, dog. Throw this.
Yeah, that's
Hold on.
messed up. Just cats
I
out of
got it.
everything. Dogs all
Throw
day.
that.
Dogs all day.
I
That
told
ain't
you.
my real dog, but you know what I meant. Like,
That was a really high pitch.
yeah, don't say that. Don't say that again. Don't say that.
Let's do this, man. Let's wrap this thing up. I know, honestly, this has been a dope pod. I'm telling you right now, regardless, we're gonna have to come to Syracuse.
Do it.
We're gonna have to come to
100%.
Syracuse. Yeah, we're gonna have to come to Syracuse. We're gonna have to all fucking hang out,
I'm
we're gonna
okay
have to
with
shoot a
just going to
podcast
New York.
wherever you are.
100%, dude. 100%.
No, I am
That'd be
fucking
dope.
dude. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming
That
down.
was a
This
great
is
time.
tell me. This is honestly one of my favorite podcasts. I'm having a fucking blast.
I was
Same.
psyched about having.
I
the mere
know,
fact that,
right?
Like last night, Buck was like, "Hey, you want to go out with her?" I'm like, "No, really." I was really.
All right, so
stupid.
here's the other thing. No, stop, because you're gonna get me in my feelings.
Go ahead.
All right, so you guys flew all the way down. No, this wasn't the primary purpose, but at the same time, we should be good hosts.
Mm-hmm.
We should make sure, like, that's why I said, hey, afterwards, let's go get a lunch. It'll be on us. If you guys want to continue hang out, we can do that. If you guys want to do your own thing, we'll do that. But either way, I think it's our responsibility to make sure you guys flew all the way down here. Like, we got to make sure we be good hosts.
She's a gamer just like I am. So I stayed up till 3:00 in the morning playing video games like
Bro,
a big kid.
I've been there.
I was up
I've
till
been
2
there,
playing
man.
2K.
That's what I'm saying. And
Oh
then
my God.
we did this this week. We called each other on Thursday, FaceTime each other. Like, hey, the boys are getting ready to go off with their moms for the weekend. So let's play video games. So us 4 play video games.
Me and my son. And my son is fucking trash
Yeah.
when it comes to Fortnite. I love my son. Don't
Yeah.
get it twisted.
Well, he
said
died
it
first
earlier.
time talking.
Yeah, we said it earlier. Everybody in the podcast knows Ryder's a little slow, right?
Mhm.
Everybody knows he's part of that. He's part of that D2D community.
Yeah.
However, I've said it several times. I wish I could be like him. He has no idea how to be upset. Like anytime something bad's happening, he's like, "Hey, Dad, I don't like this. We should do something that's fun." And it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize we could do that."
Such a good way to look at
It
life,
is.
though.
Like,
Like, oh my
We'll
goodness.
be outside and I'll be getting stressed. Something's not going right. He'll be like, "Hey, Dad, you know what we should do? We should just like throw the ball instead, because that's more fun than what we're doing right now." And I'm like, "Wow."
He
I didn't-
realizes that he has free will.
Yes.
That is free
He
will. I was
does.
just talking about that
He
earlier. I was
does.
like, you ever just remember that you have like free will? Like, I could smash this glass right now. There will be consequences, but I can do it because I'm free to do whatever I want.
That's the point. I admire him so much when it comes to that, because there'll be times he'll come to me every day when I'm getting ready to be done with work. He's like, "Hey, Dad, you want to play Fortnite?" And I'm like, "Buddy, I love you. So we'll play a little bit later. I got to get this stuff done." He's like, "All right. I'm just saying, Fortnite's a lot more fun than that." And I'm like, "You're not wrong. You are not
Very
wrong,
valid
son."
point.
Yeah. He just lives in a different world. I'm excited about it.
And then remember when we play, he's like, just like Kit, bro. Just like Kit, bro. It's crazy. But let us move in. Let's move into the final one. All right.
He just
What
threw
would
away the whole thing I was.
no? Yeah, we have to. We have to. We got to wrap up.
No, I was saying you said I was telling you want to hang out, and I was like, bro, I stayed up till 3:00 in the morning 2 nights in a row like a big ass kid.
I
I'm
did
so
too.
tired. Like
I did.
I
too.
got 2 Red Bulls in the car. Just like I'm gonna.
I don't
function.
care. We'll figure out whatever they want to do afterwards. Either way, let's get the spice of the week.
That's
and let's
good.
move
I just
on.
want to let you know that right now.
Give us a reminder. What's your spice?
My spice of the week is just simple. Like what I do matters, and seeing the
Hey.
proof behind that.
You're living the dream.
Yeah, living the dream.
Go ahead.
That's
you
the
see
sign.
that sign right behind you, right?
Sure.
And this is what his mom gave him right there behind him as well.
My mom gave me this.
Yes.
You did not wake up today to be a weak ass bitch.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's
Got a
the
cool
only
mom.
lady that I
That's what my
love.
mom would give
That's
me.
what I'm saying, man.
She loves.
So,
Love that lady to death.
What's that?
But my spice of the week is just seeing the work that I put in and seeing it actually move forward.
Yeah.
Seeing my son, score in the game.
Yeah.
I know he scores every week, but this time he actually got a pick
You're
6.
so black right now.
I'm just letting you know he does score every week. You're there. But nevertheless, the goal is
He
to do
scores
something.
he scores almost twice every week.
It's
It's kind of crazy.
He's good. He's real good. But to see him challenge himself and live up to the expectations, like, hey, son, I need you to stop them. He not only stopped them, he got a pick 6, and then he did a homage to Ryder. His son always does the gritty.
My son does the
All day
gritty
long.
when he wakes up and goes to brush his teeth.
He's just like this.
Yeah, that's it. Like I'll be like, Ryder, man, go fucking outside and pick up your toys, bro.
I don't even think I know how to gritty.
Like
He doesn't know how to do it either.
he doesn't. No, he
But
doesn't.
He's trying. He's
Like I
having a
told
good
you,
time.
he's so enthralled with it from Fortnite. Like I said, he's got that special mind.
Yeah.
So he does not walk anywhere unless he's grittying. So he goes to class. Like he's going into lunch, right? He'll be carrying a tray.
And
Like,
he really
it's-
thinks he's he's Spider-Man.
He believes he's Spider-Man wholeheartedly.
Wholeheartedly.
And like I said, I admire this.
I just want to
live.
live one day in his head, like where I just feel like I'm an action hero and I just play video games in my downtime.
And when he
Yeah.
looks at everybody around him, he's like, "Bro, I'm about to save all you, and you
Just
don't
don't-
even know."
If it goes down, I got you.
Like, bro,
Hey.
I wear a mask.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know.
You don't even know. And he's really fighting bad guys every day. He'll be shadow boxing.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
excited to be in his world.
What do you got? What is your spice of the week?
It's gonna sound really corny. But I gotta say, my spice of the week is just being here. For the sole fact that I made it.
Wait. The podcast or Florida?
The podcast.
Oh,
Okay.
shit!
I'm with that.
Florida has been
Let's
interesting
go.
to say the
Give me
least.
some love.
Florida has been interesting to say the least. Not the best experience yet. Will be the best experience after this, but it's been an interesting experience, and it's got to be just being here, because at the end of the day, this is part of what I want to do. You know what I mean? I love to travel. It was my first time getting on a plane. You know what I mean? I've never been on a plane before. So that it kind of sucked, but it wasn't the worst thing ever. I don't know how I feel about the plane yet. I'll see about the plane ride back. But you know what I mean? Just traveling and being here, and with you guys just reaching out to me, you know what I mean? Alone seeing the email, I was like, holy shit, that's so cool, all the way down in Florida. You know what I mean? To see that I'm reaching people and they want me on their podcast. They want to talk to me. They want to learn about me. Even if it's not a performance, you know what I mean? I'm still getting myself out there, which means my music is going to get out there. You know what I mean? Somebody could see this and be like, I'll go listen to her music. That's dope. So it's just the fact that being here and a positive, good environment, you know what I mean? This is probably, so far, this has got to be my favorite part of Florida so far.
Yeah.
So far. I don't know about tomorrow. We're going to the beach tomorrow, so that might overtake it a little bit.
Where
I hope
you're
the
going
sharks
tomorrow?
scare the hell out of
Where
you.
you going
Think
tomorrow?
about us.
It is dope. I'm not gonna lie, it is dope. Like I said, when you try to have dinner on the sunset, just stay by the beach, cruise down, and it'll beat what we're doing in here. Well, no, it won't, because we're awesome.
Yeah, we're awesome.
But either way, no, that's dope, man. That's fucking awesome. I love that shit. So I got a little toner right now. You know what I'm saying? My confidence a little bit. My low self-esteem is at an all-time high.
My high self-esteem is
So I'm gonna wrap this up. Say my spice of the week is damn. Well, now it's gonna go out to podcast. It is, because honestly, we've been looking forward to. I personally have been looking forward to this particular podcast for over a week now, because typically we have 2 to 3 podcasts a week, and we're doing this and blah blah blah, and there's always, you got to think about the next thing. But we had a week in between events that we were working, and you had hit me up, and I was like, "Yo, we're ready to go," and you're like, "Bro, it's hype," and We did a couple of collab videos, and it was a good time, and I could tell wholeheartedly like you're coming down, and like I said, your group is gonna have a really good vibe and just good fucking people, and that right there makes me feel put me in such a good mood the last 4 days going into today. Because when you can hit a podcast and you can talk to somebody that really has like just a fucking authentic personality, it's a really good person at heart, and you can really feel that vibe, dude, it just creates a whole different type of environment. And I've interviewed quite a few people, and we've talked to quite a few people that we're going to interview, and they always like, oh, I want to come on because I want to promote my product, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. And it's like, all right, whatever, like we're growing. We love to share networks, like whatever. But at the same time, like when you get that authenticity, like, bro, I just fucking have a great time. That smacks, bro. It's dope. So that was my spice of the week. But as we sign off, guys, please make sure to go hit the subscribe and the like button and all that shit. Follow us on Instagram, all that fun shit. Blah, 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 all the...
I'm getting ready to say, you didn't even say anything about our sponsors. Like, not one time.
No, remember that comes in the intro.
Gotcha, go ahead.
You always forget.
All right,
you always
that's
forget.
all right.
Hey,
I'm
I'm not going to cut it this time. I'm going to make you look
sponsor.
dumb.
It's okay. I don't care.
Yeah. So,
I'm wearing the
either
brand.
way, the whole point is thank
be
you
shiny
guys
as
so
hell.
much for tuning in. One last segment before we get into it. Please look into that particular camera right there. Tell everybody where they can find you, where they should follow you, subscribe to you in order to help push your content. Where can we do that for you?
All right. So Instagram is big for me. I post a lot on there. My Instagram is BatmandaMarie1. My TikTok is BatmandaMarie2. You can follow me on Facebook. It's just Amanda Marie. My music is on all platforms. If you go to any of my bios and social medias, you can find all my music. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. I got a few music videos out, so definitely check those out. Yeah, you can find me everywhere. I'm all over the place, man.
Let's do it. So be sure to go hit the follow and subscribe button for Miss Amanda Marie here, right? Batmanda, which I thought was a badass name. But be sure to go do that. And also, after you're done doing that, we can be second choice in this particular episode. Go hit this follow and subscribe button for us. On YouTube is where we're trying to grow the most. However, we do also have Apple Podcasts. We got Spotify. We got all the good shit. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And have a blessed rest of your day. Fuck.
That was so, guys. That was so.
2 dimes and a token. Dear Meg Rosie.